Because the Carolina Hurricanes are an Eastern Conference team, the Winnipeg Jets only play them twice a year. The Jets have won 4 consecutive 10 games against the Carolina Hurricanes heading in tonight. They'd outscored them 16-5 in those 4 games. But a huge 4-goal second period from the Carolina Hurricanes tonight, Randy Gillen, including a lacrosse-style goal effort from Andrei Svechnikov, and the Jets fall tonight 6-3 to the Carolina Hurricanes. He's Randy Gillen. I'm Jamie Thomas. Welcome to the JetsTV Live Postgame Show presented by Budweiser. Randy, we'll get your thoughts here in a second, but first we got to get something out of the way. JetsRewards.ca. Get there right now. Type in the code word tonight, and that code word is drive. And the Carolina Hurricanes were doing a lot of driving to the net tonight, drove the play a lot this evening. So drive is your code word this evening. 50 Jets reward points just for tuning in. Randy, you don't get to see the Carolina Hurricanes very often. Your thoughts on their effort against the Jets here this evening?
I thought this is one of the most talented groups I've seen in a long, long time. They have it all. They've got skill. They've got speed, but what impressed me the most was their work ethic tonight. They were on the puck. Really a talented group of guys, well coached, and very dominating performance by them tonight.
You know Rod Brind'Amour very well. Is this a good example of what Rod Brind'Amour was when he played in the National Hockey League with his team here this evening?
This is exactly the way he was. He was maybe not as skilled as some of those guys that he has. So he's got some really talented guys. But Rod Brind'Amour never gave an inch when he played. He was a hard-working guy, and he played 60 minutes, and his team is a carbon copy of the way he played.
Sometimes when things are going well for you on home ice, there's kind of that expectation things are going to go well for you all the time. I thought the Jets adjusted very well to the Carolina Hurricanes in the first period, but that second period, you could really see the distance between the two teams. Just in this one game, I'm not saying overall.
Yeah, the Jets had some opportunities early on, and they could have come out here with a better fate. Carolina just kept plugging away, and there was a time in the second period where they just blew the game open.
Yeah, Andrew Kopp, we'll find out a little bit more about him tonight. Left with an upper body injury. That would be a big loss should that be long term. Let's go to the highlights here. A 6-3 Jets loss to the Carolina Hurricanes. Jets in the midst of a 3-game homestand. They'll play Chicago on Thursday. The Canes will open the scoring. It's kind of one of those lucky puck bounces. Nino Niederreiter trying to make a move to the front of the net. The puck goes right onto the stick of Lucas Wallmark. 1-0 Carolina. Not much that Connor Hellebuyck could do on this one, Randy, right?
No, and Niederreiter, he just does a great play here. He turns his back, and he's a big body, and it's hard to get position on him when he turns like that. And like you said, it was just a quick bounce, and Connor Hellebuyck, no chance.
Great response from the Jets right before the end of the period. All you got to do is just get the puck on the net. That's exactly what Nikolai Ehlers does in a nifty tip in front from Jack Roslovic. It's 1-1 after one period of play.
Great tip, and Ehlers just he pulls the whole group. I think there's 4 Carolina guys follow him out to the blue line and just throws it at the net. And like they say, you throw it at the net, good things happen.
And Dougie Hamilton, good job positioning here, but great work with Jack Roslovic with the stick in front here. Great tip from Jack.
Yeah, just a great tip. He tips it up and over in perfect stick position.
Second period is where the Canes really took this one over. What a pass from Teuvo Teravainen out front to Sebastian Aho. Again, no chance for Connor Hellebuyck. It's 2-1 Carolina.
Yeah, I felt sorry for Connor Hellebuyck in a few of those goals. No chance at all. Carolina cycled the puck for about 15-20 seconds before this, had the Jets running around, and again, just one of those bounces where it just everything seemed to go right for them, and Aho puts it in.
19th of the season for Aho. The Jets do get this one back. The Canes have carried the play for the majority of the second period, but great play here from Nathan Beaulieu. Just throws on the net again, and then some great hands again from Patrick Laine this time.
Yeah, another good tip. What I liked about this was the response by the Jets. They came back and got the puck deep, and they got the cycle game going on Carolina, and good shot from the point and a great tip.
Yeah, of course, Peter Mrazek thought that was a high stick. It was not. Could have been a tripping call here on Adam Lowry, but the play continues to go. And watch Andrei Svechnikov with the lacrosse-style goal. He's done it already once this year to the Calgary Flames. That's his second time. No matter how many times you see this, Randy, it remains to be an impressive play, does it not?
It's incredible. What I like about this is he's not standing still when he does this. He's moving, and I think that's what threw Connor Hellebuyck off, is he just thought that maybe he was going to come out and try to jam it or throw it on front, but to pick that up and do that is amazing.
About 30 seconds after Wheeler had rung one off the post, a sweet pass from Niederreiter to Sebastian Aho. Hellebuyck got a piece of it, but not enough as it slips through his pads. Second of the night for Aho. Again, quick transition, and it was the Jets that could have tied it up because Wheeler hits the post before this.
Yeah, Blake Wheeler hit the post right before this, and again, what a great play by Niederreiter. He just gets some position, knocks the puck away, and the last guy you want to have the puck there is Aho.
Canes on the power play, looking for their second power play goal of the night. Dougie Hamilton throws to the front of the net. Jordan Stahl has one chance. Second chance, he puts it in. So now again, a lot of you could say it was a tough night for Connor Hellebuck, but I think it's a little bit more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the bounces, they got some really good bounces. They worked for their bounces, but this is another one where Connor Hellebuck makes the save, the first save, and goes right back onto Jordan Stahl's stick.
Third period, Laurent Brossoit is in the net now for the Winnipeg Jets. Dougie Hamilton's shot goes off the boards, bounces right back to Jordan Stahl. Again, you work for your bounces, but this is one of those great examples of the bounces going in the favor of the Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah, like we just said, this is another one where it just hits one of the Jets defensemen, I believe, in front of the net, and Brossoit, and goes right to Jordan Stahl, and he's got the wide open net.
6-2 for Carolina. The Jets would make it interesting, though, later in the third period. They're on the power play looking for their first man advantage goal of the evening. Blake Wheeler will have the puck, takes the pass from Neil Pionk, and he sends a perfect pass to Mark Scheifele, the one-timer from the left knee, and the Jets are within 3. It's 6-3.
Great saucer pass by Blake Wheeler here. He just throws it right up over the stick, and for to see Mark Scheifele backing away like that and be able to one-time it, just a great shot. Two very skilled guys. Like I said, if you like skilled hockey, this was a great game to see.
Yeah, there's a lot of skill on display here this evening. We're going to go back we're going to go inside the Jets dressing room here eventually. I believe we are actually. Blake Wheeler is 1 point away from tying Ilya Kovalchuk for the career or the point lead in franchise history. Here's the Jets captain.
Carolina do to turn the tables in the second?
Oh, they were just quick. Great sticks. We showed about 10 minutes of video of them with great sticks coming back and making it real tough to get up the ice, and that's what we saw. I think as much as it was a slow night for us, they were all over us too, so you got to give them a lot of credit.
What are some of the biggest challenges you have to deal with that back pressure? Pretty relentless, both on the forecheck and with the back check as well.
I didn't find the forecheck to be as big of a problem, and that's that's not meant to be disrespectful. I just feel like a big strength of our team is getting in the offensive zone and spending a lot of time down there. We just had an inability to get over that red line and sustain any pressure in the offensive zone because their sticks were so good. So that's what I found in the game tonight. They just made it real tough for us to make our way up the ice, and coupled with not having our best legs tonight, it made it a tough game for us.
Trip take something out of it for you guys? I mean, you guys were able to battle back, I think, 3 times tonight, but is that trip? It's a tough one to stomach, that one, or
The missed trip out for the goal.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's tough. You'd like the refs to be perfect. Like us, they're human. They do a pretty darn good job. So I would say putting it on the refs in that scenario wouldn't do justice to the job Carolina did tonight. Certainly, in a perfect world, you'd like that call and not to score a goal, but it's an imperfect game.
Just kind of tip your hat when a guy like Svechnikov makes that play. I mean, it's pretty tough to defend, I guess.
Well, there's one way to defend it. Unfortunately, we didn't have a guy there to do that. So, give him a ton of credit. A little time and space behind the net, that's a pretty sweet play. So, I guess you leave him alone behind the net. He's capable of doing it. So that's going to make its way around the league pretty quick.
What did Carolina do to kind of take over the game in the second period?
I think they were just quick. I think they were playing fast. They had good sticks. I think they were, taking a lot of pucks from us. And, I think we were just afraid to lose the puck, so we were kind of standing still with the puck. And, that's their strength, and they did a good job.
What are the biggest challenges when you have to deal with that back pressure kind of all night long?
Well, it's just got to be quick. Got to be quicker than we were in this game. I think we're just slowing down with the puck. I think that was our biggest issue tonight, and they played a good game.
Trip take anything out of it for you guys on at least this Svechnikov's goal?
Oh, it's hard to say because I didn't see it, so I was just hearing everybody yelling to the ref. So it's hard to say because I didn't see it.
What do you think of? I mean, I don't even know how you defend a goal like that. But I mean, do you see something like that? What do you?
I don't know. It's just good for him. He made a great play. That's it. There was only one defender in front of the net, so it's if you want to go after him, then he's probably going to pass it in front of the net, and then he's going to have a good chance to score. So tough to say.
All right, there's Patrick Laine, scored his 11th goal of the season. Before that, it was Blake Wheeler. Blake Wheeler now, as I mentioned, a point away from becoming or tying Ilya Kovalchuk for the all-time franchise lead in points. Some smiles on the face of the captain, and that's when you win 5 straight games at home, Randy, and things have been going so well for you. I guess when you have one off night, it's okay to look at it as not so bad, correct?
I agree. I think this was a good lesson game for the team here. They've been playing very well, had a letdown tonight. I liked what he said, give Carolina credit. I think this will be a game where it's a good measuring stick for them, and they can take some positives out of this, I think. I thought they were pretty good in the first period, and they played along with them. It was just a stretch in the second period where the game got blown open, something that they've done to other teams here. So yeah, I think the fact that you've lost a game here, sometimes it's better to get beat and beat soundly than it is to lose 2-1 or 3-2. They'll go back in, they'll put their work boots back on, look at this game, and I think they'll rebound and do just nicely.
Do you see a lot of similarities between these two teams watching this game from above?
I do. This to me, we talked about this earlier, Jamie. This was 2 of the best skilled teams I've seen in a long, long time. Not a real physical game, but I think the fact that these teams can move the puck, to watch the Jets on the power play, watch Carolina on the power play, watch Carolina penalty kill. I think they're aggressive all over the ice, and like I said, there was a lot of skill on display out there.
Something that we shouldn't be overlooking here. Andrew Kopp has been a very integral part of this team for a very long time. Losing him in the first period may have set them off because he's good in both ends of the rink. That third line is kind of a checking line that goes up against the other team's best, so a big loss there for them early part of the game.
Andrew Kopp, to me, is a guy that's really made himself a solid player in this league. He's come in, moved his way up the lineup, and with Adam Laurie, those two guys, a 1-2 punch on face-offs, just line mates. This will be a tough blow if he's out for a while. There's a lot of chemistry on that line, and I'm sure Paul Maurice is looking at this where he had three real solid lines to go to, and he could juggle his fourth line, but this will be an adjustment to move somebody up there now.
And certainly missing the Swiss Army knife and Matthew Perreault as well. Like when you go up against a team like Carolina, you want to be at full power, I guess, in some ways, fully healthy. Just didn't work out that way. And did you miss Matthew Perreault, and you think the Jets missed him tonight?
Absolutely, and it goes back to what I just said. I'm sure Paul is looking for the chance to be able to put 4 solid lines out there. So he loses Perreault, gets Bork back in the lineup, has to move him up. Now Kopp's out, so hopefully Matthew Perreault won't be out long, and they can get some of that depth back in their lineup.
During this stretch, Randy, where the Jets have kind of put themselves back in the conversation for getting the division, they're in the top 3 in the Central Division. What have you liked the most in the turnaround that you've seen in the past month and a half?
I like the way they've gelled as a team. I think you can talk about their skill, you can talk about all the other things. To me, there seems to be a real chemistry with this group. I think people had them counted them down and out at the start of the year, and I think they've used that as a rallying point, and they seem to be having a lot of fun.
Our good friend, well, not our good friend, the head coach of the Winnipeg Jets, Paul Maurice, in the Matt Frost Media Center. Let's hear his comments following a 6-3 loss to the Carolina Hurricanes.
Quickest team out there tonight, or what was?
Yeah, hands and feet, right? So they skated real well in the hands. Was knocked an awful lot down, but we would have to take responsibility for a big chunk of that and how we moved the puck, how we moved our feet.
I mean, you probably won't blame it on the reffing, but the tripping penalty is kind of or non-tripping penalty was kind of a turning point for you guys at that point.
Yeah, it's going to happen over 82 where they miss one that's real clean in front of them, and it ends up in the back of your net, and that's a tough one with the. I thought they were better than us in this. The first period's even. They were better than us at almost right to 2-2 there, and then. It can't be the end of your game, but it seemed to be at that point. Their guy made 2 or 3 real big saves in a block of about 4 minutes after that, and we had a bunch go in. So it was a tough one, but we wouldn't be take that away, get the call, get the power play. Sure, who knows what can happen, but we aren't bragging about our game with that event missing.
you knew you were going to have some challenges with Perreault out and trying to move some guys, and then you lose Andrew Kopp as well. Just kind of how was that for you on the bench to?
Yeah, you lose a bit of your identity there with both those guys going out. It changes the line on you. I liked them early, and I thought they were going as well as anything that we had there. Got to the net front a little bit, so you miss those guys, and then you miss Andrew on the PK in the second one, and it's a challenge.
Is that kind of vintage Jordan Staal, just being able to be around the net?
Yeah, I mean, he scored a whole bunch of those where the puck either gets to the net or it doesn't get to the net, but he's big and strong net front and got such good hands.
Paul, is it more of a mercy pull for Connor, or you want to get some work? Or?
Yeah, all those things. 5's enough for any one guy, and I didn't think that it was going to be easier for him in the net in the third. If there was a spark for a comeback for us, it wasn't going to be on our goaltender. We've got a bunch of games every second night here, and wanted to get Lauren some minutes that would open up the opportunity then for Connor playing a bunch of games ahead of us.
Obviously, it's a highlight reel. You don't like to see them scored against you, but what's the way to defend the lacrosse type of goal?
Just get Adam Lowry not to get tripped, and it doesn't get back there. That's a tough play for the tender because it is behind the net. Most of those pucks come around the net wrapped. It's pretty neat.
Anything you can tell us about Andrew? Or
Nothing yet, but I will tomorrow.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
All right, so I'm listening to Paul Maurice, a little bit of delay. I missed that last part, so you were chuckling a little bit. Was it about the Andrei Svechnikov goal? Is that what Paul was referring to? So what was the answer?
The answer was if Adam Lowry hadn't got tripped.
So do you like how he handled the question about, because Adam Lowry had got tripped before Andrei Svechnikov, so you like how he answers that question that the refs are going to miss the odd occasional one?
Yeah, I liked how he answered everything, and then I really liked how his response was, because you could tell that he obviously wasn't throwing the referees under the bus, but he realizes, and I think everybody realizes, that was a factor in the game.
Mm. Patrick, there's a joke today. Sebastian Aho, of course, from Finland, had played with Patrick Laine at the World Junior Hockey Championships. Made a joke earlier today. Here's that Patrick Laine is back-checking now. Do you see that part of Patrick Laine's game changing now?
I do. You see a lot of it now, and that comes with maturity too. Mm-hmm. And there was an instance in the first period where Carolina were cycling the puck. They had a play where the guy came out deep at the blue line. They snuck a defenseman backdoor, and Patrick Laine made a great defensive play. He came back and recognized it and made a good defensive play. I'm not so sure he would have made that play a year or 2 years ago.
Have you seen a maturity in a player like that in one off season so quickly in that department and becoming much better in your own end of the rink?
Yeah, I think
know it happens all the time.
It happens.
This is pretty dramatic, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, this is very dramatic, and you know that's a credit. You credit the coaching staff, but you also credit the players in the locker room. Mm-hmm. I think peer pressure can be a great thing in that locker room, and I think they've got a good leadership group in there. I mentioned it earlier. I really like the chemistry of their team right now. I think they look like they all get along. They look like they're having fun. Not so much tonight, but in the past games, they look like they're really enjoying what they're doing out there. And I think when guys enjoy coming to the rink and there's that peer pressure, they want to play well and they want to do the little things for each other.
Randy, if it seems like you've been doing this forever, I really appreciate you stopping by and doing this with us.
Well, I've had a great time. I'd like to do it again.
We're going to bring you back, so at some point we'll let you know. Randy Gillen, former Winnipeg Jet, joining us here at the JetsTV Live postgame show. Jets fall 6-3. They'll be back on home ice Thursday when they take on the Chicago Blackhawks. On behalf of Randy Gillen, I'm Jamie Thomas. Thanks for watching the JetsTV Live postgame show presented by Budweiser. We'll see you on Thursday.